What is up, chefs, foodies, and students? Hello and welcome to Everybody Knows. My name is Anders. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. Today we are talking about how we explore and experiment with food aromas, specifically how to consider or build a cultural flavor profile. Okay, so the first question is, what is a cultural flavor profile? In terms of cuisine, many chefs and cooks will use the idea of a flavor profile to provide context to build dishes or flavor pairings. For our purposes, a flavor profile refers to the characteristic tastes, aromas, textures, and overall sensory experiences that are commonly associated with the cuisine or culinary traditions of that particular culture or group. That's a mouthful. The idea is that it encompasses the diverse range of flavors and ingredients that are prevalent in the culinary practices of a specific region or ethnic group or community. The one extra wrinkle or dimension that we have to consider is time in history. The flavor profile of the Sichuan province today will not look like the flavor profile of the Sichuan province of 1925. So here's the list of strong categories and questions to examine as you build or create a flavor profile for a culture. Start with the 5 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. What ingredients for each of those tastes does your group of people use? For sweet, they might use a refined sugar, they might use a natural sugar like cane sugar, or they might use some kind of other type like agave nectar or honey. The second thing to look at are some of the food ingredient categories. So meats and proteins, vegetables, fruits, grains and starches, and aromatics. You will see that each of these types of ingredients plays into the flavor profile of a group of people. The next thing to look at is cookery methods. Ways of preparing food or cooking food or preserving food will lend a lot to the flavors going on in the foodways of this group of people. And last on our short list is influences, culturally speaking. So this almost always lends itself to either some form of colonialism or trade with other cultures. If you can picture an Italy without tomatoes, like without tomato sauce, it existed. Tomatoes didn't start in Italy. So once you've sussed out all of the details of each of those sectors, you will have a solid picture of a culture's flavor profile. Examples of flavor profiles could be Chinese Cuban cuisine of the 20th century, ancient Roman cuisine, modern Swedish cuisine, 19th century Great Plains cuisine, pre-Columbian Mayan cuisine. All of these groups in time have their own unique culinary flavor profiles that describe their foodways. Let's have a quick look at our universal aroma wheel. It would be really fun and interesting to use the aroma wheel to map out flavor profiles of cultural groups. I might suggest using a copy of this in black and white maybe, and then using color coding, maybe with dots or stickers, to show the different ingredient categories and locations on the wheel. Patterns might emerge within or between cultural groups. So you could put orange dots around the edge for modern Vietnamese cuisine ingredients, and you could put blue dots around the edge for modern Ukrainian cuisine ingredients. You could also color code ingredients within a culture as it changes through time. So if you wanted to look at Sicilian cuisine from the 1st century AD up until today, and by century you could see which ingredients might change, or maybe it's by millennia. Depends on how much information you have, but that would be so cool to use this wheel for that purpose. And that about wraps it up. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about the language and ideas that we covered today, as well as the universal aroma wheel and what we talked about there. Did my thinking or logic make sense to you? Why or why not? And what questions or ideas do you have? I would love your feedback. If you want to put any of the answers to those questions down in the comments, I'll be happy to read them. I hope this video made sense and got you thinking about these ideas and the universal aroma wheel. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to join the food aroma nerdery, go ahead and subscribe. You'll see all my latest vids. And if you would like a large poster copy or a digital copy of this aroma wheel that I have created, there will be links in the description. Thanks so much. Bye.